And I forgot to start the recording there. So we just discussed number 8. Little review of what we've been doing on 1 through 6. Now everybody flip the page over. And I want to show you guys one of the division problems. So let's actually do number 14. I like 14 more than 12. Everybody look at number 14. Are you ready for the one difference between division and multiplication? They're exactly the same, except, does anybody remember what we do when we divide by a fraction? Not subtract. There's another way. When we divide by a fraction, just regular fractions. If I'm trying to do like 5 over 6 divided by 2 over 3, can anybody remember what we do there?
Reduce.
Eventually, we'll reduce. Say it again. Not quite. So you might be thinking of like cross multiplication or cross canceling. That's not quite what I'm looking for here. All right, so I'm going to give it to you. And hopefully you remember this. Hopefully it rings some bells. But also, hopefully you remember it when you have basic fractions that you're multiplying as well, or dividing. If I have 2/3 divided by 4/3, the way I actually do that is I multiply. Yeah? No, that would work, but not what we're looking for here. We would multiply by the reciprocal. We flip the second one upside down and change it to multiplication. This is the same as 2/3 times 3 over 4. Does that sound familiar to you guys? If you divide by a fraction, that's the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So all we have to do, and again, everybody's full attention up here. Phones away. Make sure you're not distracted. Because this is the key to division. Multiplication and division are exactly the same. But for division, the very first thing you do is take the second fraction, change it to multiplied by it flipped upside down. K squared minus 2k minus 80 over 2k plus 8. The first one stays exactly the same. K squared minus k minus 20 divided by k squared minus 15k plus 50. So the first one does not change. But the second one, we make it multiplication by flipping that other fraction upside down. And now the rest of it's exactly what we were doing just a moment ago. It's all the same. So let's finish this one. I'm going to factor each of these pieces. Let's start with the k squared minus k minus 20. I need two numbers that multiply to 20 and add or subtract to 1. So Christian, give me some ways of multiplying to make 20. Is that a little louder? 4 and 5. Is that, everybody, again, he said 4 times 5, that multiplies to make 20. Can I use that to make negative 1 when I add or subtract? Amato, what do you think? Can I do 4 and 5? Can I add or subtract those to get negative 1? How would I do that? Is it 4 minus 5, 4 plus 5, 5 minus 4? What's going to get me negative 1? 4 minus 5. So I'm going to factor this one into k minus, or you could do k plus 4 and k minus 5. Now let's do the bottom. I need to take 50 and make it so it combines to 15. What multiplies to 50 and adds up to negative 15? Not here today. Isaiah, any ideas what numbers multiply to 50 but add up to 15 or negative 15? A little louder. 5 and 10. Do we agree? Can I make 15 out of 5 and 10? So we're looking at k minus 5, k minus 10. Is everybody clear why they're both negative? That gets us the positive 15 when we multiply. Adds up to negative 15. Now, the 2k, actually, let's wait on that. K squared minus 2k minus 80. What are some ways to multiply to make 80? Caitlin, any ideas? What are some ways I can multiply to make 80? 10 and 8. That's going to work, right? 10 minus 8 would be 2, or 8 minus 10 would be negative 2. So k minus 10, k minus, nope, k plus 8. And on the bottom, you can factor out a 2, right? 2 times k plus 4. So what do I have identical twins wise? What can I reduce here? K plus 4s, k minus 5s, k minus 10s. So my final answer here is k plus 8 over 2. And then I cancel out the 8 and the 2? No. We stop right there. Okay, so CART students, I have not gotten an email back. You guys are welcome to go. Just know that your bus may be running late. I was hoping to get a second email about whether, like, when that bus was going to show up. But for now, go get your lunch. Go get ready if you're taking the bus. If you're not taking the bus, same as always. You're good. It's only the people that are on the bus that need to be aware that the bus may be running late. The rest of us, we won't be finished with this, you guys, so you can just finish up when you come back tomorrow. But the rest of us, let's get a couple more done. We're not going to be able to finish it, but we can get a couple more done. So let's go back. Let's do one more of the multiplication ones. Let's come back up here to number 9. See if we can't work that one out. Start with the top piece. R squared minus 14r plus 48. Alina, what do you think? Give me some ways to multiply to make 48. So 4 and 12. And then Kenji, can you give me another way to multiply to make 48? So besides 4, what's a number that would go into 48? Yeah. So 2 times what? 2 times 24. So there's another option. Let's get some more. Parmjot, can you think of another number that goes into 48 besides 2 and 4? So you could try 7. I don't, if you, and again, this is one where if you're ever curious, grab a calculator and just try it. So 48 divided by 7. Oh, that gets me a decimal. So not 7. Is there another one? Try something else, Parmjot. Six does. Did you figure out what it, like, if you, did you do the division? What did you get? 8. All right, so 6 times 8. Was that what you were going to say? And there is one more, right? We could do 3. 3 times, what is it, 16? I think we got most of them now. So this one's a little rough because it's got a lot of possibilities. But does anybody see one set here that's going to add or subtract to 14? Go ahead. A little louder. 6 and 8. Does everybody agree 6 plus 8 is going to make 14? So if I want this to be negative 14, I've got r and 6, r and 8. What am I using for those terms? Pluses, minuses, what are we putting here? Negatives for both of them. R minus 6, R minus 8. That one's probably the worst. Well, actually, the one underneath that's not too easy either. 42 has a few possibilities. I think we've got enough time to get close to finishing this at least. So 42. Anakin, what are some numbers that multiply to make 42? 2 and 21. That's not going to make 13, unfortunately, though. So, Ayana, do you have another option? What's something else that goes into 42 besides 2? So if you're not sure, pick a number, pick something small, and just divide it on your calculator. Do 42 divided by the number. 6 and 7. And we could have tried 3. 3 would have also worked. But that 6 and 7 looks pretty promising, doesn't it? Have a good afternoon. 6 and 7 does add up to 13, so we're looking at r minus 6, r minus 7. And then here, that 14, not here anymore, we lost a couple people. Alondra, can you think of some ways to multiply to make 14? That's okay. Again, you can always try it. Grab a calculator, take 14, try dividing it by something. Yeah, 2 and 7. And I think we can make the 5 with that one. R and 2, R and 7. Should be plus 2 and minus 7 to make that negative 5 in the middle. And the last one, we're back to just greatest common factor. 2r squared plus 4r. We can take a 2r out of both of those. 2r times r plus 2. Does everybody see where that last one comes from? Back to what we had been doing kind of at the beginning of class. Factoring out that both of them have a 2r. All right, so let's look for those pairs to simplify. So, Haley, do you see anything on the top and the bottom? R plus 2. There's one here and one here. So again, that whole thing would be 1. Not here anymore. Brandon, do you see another set that's on the top and the bottom?
R negative 7.
R minus 7. And then there's, looks like one more. Carson, do you see another one? R minus 6. Perfect. So we're left with just r minus 8 on the top over 2r on the bottom. We will finish this on Friday, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about the graphs on Friday as well. Got about 1 minute. You guys can start packing up. If you did not turn in sections 1 and 2, turn those into me right now. I will take sections 1 and 2. Most of you turned in 1 already. So it's mostly just 2 that I need. Yep. So we didn't do 2, 3, and 4. Did you do the rest of it? Okay. So if you want to finish it and then turn it in, that's probably better. Sorry. Yeah, so we didn't do those. You want to do the rest?
We did. I mean,